Hi, VC. Good morning. It's Glen Kellaway from the basement. It is Tuesday morning. Cold as hell outside, but we're nice and warm down here. I just started getting a channel on my cable system. For some reason, they decided to give it to us that I've never been able to access before. And it's funny I say using the word access because it's Access TV. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that channel, but I had never seen it up until about 3 days ago, and I'm just blown away the stuff I'm watching. And this morning, there's a show on there called Dan Aykroyd, Dan Rather, The Big Interview. And I saw an interview with one of my favorite people of all time, Greg Allman. And amazing interview. It just got me thinking that I was wondering what I was going to do for my next video. The Allman Brothers, one of my favorite bands of all time. I just thought I'd show my Allman Brothers collection. I discovered the Allman Brothers when Live at the Fillmore came out. I was in high school. I guess it was 72 probably, maybe 71. I think 72, somewhere in between there and there. We had a record player in our library and some headphones, and they had a few records there that you could go and listen to. And I pulled this one out, not having a clue what it was, but it looked interesting. Allman Brothers Live at the Fillmore. Put it on and was Statesboro Blues come on, and man, I was blown away. That had me hooked. Allman Brothers fan ever since. I only got a chance to see them once. And that was around 1974 when they toured the Brothers and Sisters album. I saw them in Buffalo, at the Odd in Buffalo, the auditorium. War Memorial Auditorium, I think it was back then still. Yeah, it was a great show. Wet Willie opened. Amazing, amazing, amazing. We took a tour bus down from Toronto, which included tickets and the trip back and forth, and everybody was like just partying their faces off on the way down, smoking joints and drinking, and the guy in the bus was cool as hell. After we got, before about a half an hour before we got to the border, he pulls over and they open all the windows and the doors and air out the bus so we could cross the border without any issues. And yeah, it was a great freaking night and an amazing concert. I wished I would have gone to see them after that. I don't know why I didn't. But anyway, so I just wanted to show my collection. Now, their first album came out in 1971, I believe. Let's see if I can find the vinyl here. Here's my vinyl issue. There's the, well, that's not going to help you. Atco label. I just don't know if Atco was their original label or not. Someone might be able to tell me. I got this record given to me, so I'm not sure if it's an original pressing or not. The next album was Idlewild South. Now, these were both released before Live at the Fillmore, and I'm not sure what it was like. I don't recall them getting a lot of attention on these albums, but this is a great album. It's got In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, Midnight Rider is on here, one of their classic songs, Don't Keep Me Wondering, Revival, Hoochie Coochie Man, Please Call Home, Leave Your Blues at Home. I see now what the scoop is. They're on the Capricorn label, and this is Atco Capricorn. The labels were associated, I assume. Idlewild South, both great albums, amazing. They had quite a story when Greg and Dwayne were only 1 year apart in age, 1 year and 18 days, I think. And when Greg was 2 years old, his dad, who was had been in the armed forces and was home. Went out with some buddies to a bar on Boxing Day, and they started playing pool, and this guy started playing pool with them, and everything was cool. And then at the end of the night, the guy said, "Hey, I just live up the street. Can you give me a ride home?" And so Greg's dad and his friend gave this guy a ride, and when they'd gotten a few miles up the road, the guy pulled the gun on them, took them out in the field, and they kind of begged for their lives and said, "Hey, don't shoot us. Take the car. Take whatever." And one of them, either Greg's dad or the other guy, said, "Hey, buddy, don't hurt us." And it turned out that was the guy's name, Buddy, Buddy Green. So he freaked out and said, "Hey, you know who I am now? I gotta kill you." So they both started running. He shot Greg's dad in the back and killed him, and the other Greg's dad's friend got away. So he lived to tell the tale, and the gentleman went to jail for murder. Sad story. And then we all know Dwayne Ullman died in a tragic motorcycle accident in 1971. So Greg had his share of pain and went through a lot of drug abuse and alcohol abuse, and passed away, I guess about 3 years ago now, from liver cancer. Sad to lose him. I have two favorite male singers on the planet. One, Ray Charles, and the other one, almost just as soulful as Ray, is Greg Allman. So I wanted to show you. So we got those two albums. Now I also have those albums, the original master recordings, in SACD MoFi, both limited edition. It's number 5120, I think it is, 5102. And the first album. This is number 600. It's kind of a cool number to have for a limited edition set. This album had some great songs on it too, their first album. Don't Want You No More and It's Not My Cross to Bear, just dripping, heartfelt blues song. Black-Hearted Woman, Trouble No More, which is a Muddy Waters song. Every Hungry Woman, Dreams, which is a great Greg Allman pen song, and Whipping Post, another classic Allman Brothers song. That was on their first album. Amazing. These are just great records. Okay, so we got those. I think I also have those in just my regular Red Book CDs as well. So I'm well stocked up on the first Allman Brothers albums. Next was the live album. Now, there's my vinyl copy. It is on the Atlantic label now. This is just probably my favorite live album of all time. Definitely considered one of the greatest live albums of all time. Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore. Like I said, this one cracked it open for me. Incredible. This set came out a few years ago. It's the complete performances from that set. It's a 6 CD. Just see if I can find the, well, there's the pipe sticker. 6 CD collector's edition.
Check your Wi-Fi network.
Newer remixed from the original multi-tracks. There were two versions of this. There was a Blu-ray audio version and this. This is a great set. Here's the note that came with it, showing all the tracks. So the performances were March 12, 71, the first show. March 12, 71, the second show. March 13th, 71, the first show. March 13th, 71, the second show. March 13th, 71, the second show continued on Disc 5, and Disc 6, Fillmore East closing show in June 27th, 1971. They included that too. It was interesting that on the first show, the brothers, invited some horn players to play with them without telling any of the guys in the recording booth outside. And they didn't bother tuning their instruments with the horns. And great performances, but everything's out of tune. But they include that in here. And you can hear it, that it sounds a bit off, but the music is still incredible. It's a wonderful set if you're a fan. Lots of reading material as well. Great pictures. Yes, we gotta see if I can find anything cool in here else. Let's see. Another great picture. Yeah, just a great set. 6 CDs. If you're a fan of that album, I strongly suggest you check into that one. After that, Dwayne passes away while they're in the middle of recording this next album. Eat a Peach. This is my favorite Allman Brothers album. Another original master recording from Mo-Fi. This is number 832. I don't have the vinyl for this. I'm gonna get it. I love the inside jacket of the gatefold. Amazing picture. I always wanted to frame that. But this has Ain't Wastin' Time No More, which was a song that Greg wrote in tribute to his brother. Not Ain't Wastin' Time No More after his brother died. Melissa is on this, which is the first song Greg Ullman ever wrote when he was 17 years old. Beautiful song, one of Allman Brothers' greatest songs. Mountain Jam is on here, when they took the Donovan song, First There Is a Mountain, and turned it into a 30-minute instrumental, which is just incredible. One Way Out is on here, Trouble No More, and an instrumental that Greg had recorded, or Dwayne had recorded before he passed away, called Little Martha. Amazing, amazing album. Eat a Peach. I have that on the Mo-Fi SACD. I have the regular hybrid SACD. Both sound fantastic. Next, they got to figure out where to go. They lose Dwayne, their hero, their inspiration, their leader. A year later, Barry Oakley, one of my favorite bass players of all time, he dies in a motorcycle accident blocks from where Dwayne passed away, almost a year to the day. Now it's a real tragedy. How do you carry on from that? But they did. They stuck together and came up with, I think, their probably biggest selling album. Brothers and Sisters. This is Brothers and Sisters. This is a anniversary release, which has remastered album, rehearsals, jams, and outtakes previously unreleased on disc 2, live at Winterland from 1973, which is probably the year I saw them, from September 26, 1973. This is an awesome, awesome set as well. There's, let's see if I can hold that up there. Besides that, there was a nice book that came with it. There's Allman Brothers, All About Family. There's Dickie Betts, one of the great guitar players of all time. Chuck Leavell, who played with the brothers for a long time. He kind of, rather than have two twin guitars after Dwayne died, they brought Chuck in and did like dueling piano, guitar. It sounded great. He was great. Chuck went on to form his own band called Sea Level, and also played with the Stones quite a bit. There's Barry Oakley. Sad that he passed. Amazing bass player. Don't forget to watch my series with Lisa Tedesco on Lisa's channel on the bass. There's the bass player who took over, Lamar Williams, another amazing bass player. Yeah, interesting. Great set. Then they started to have a bit of trouble after that. Started to have internal issues with the band and stuff. The next album was Win, Lose, or Draw. It's more of a, I don't know if I would call it a country album. It's I think Dickie Betts had more to do with this album than any of the others, and Dickie played a lot of country type stuff. I mean, he was responsible for Ramblin' Man, which was their big hit. But Win, Lose, Draw, it's still a fine album. Think of what else I have in here. That's all. Oh, so other studio stuff. So eventually they hit a falling out. There's Win, Lose, or Draw on the Red Book CD, and Brothers and Sisters on Red Book CD. They started to have major issues with the band. People started coming and going. Dickie Betts brought in a guitar player by the name of Dan Toller, who was really good, so they went back to the double guitar thing after Chuck Leavell left. That lasted a while. Then Dickie started having fights with everybody. I don't know, I think there was some drinking issues and whatever else, and they all split up, and they got back together again to try it again, and it worked for a while. They did an album called Where It All Began, and this is when Warren Haynes joined the band, and Warren Haynes and Dickie Betts became the two guitar players. This is a pretty good album. Where It All Began is a great song. Soul Shine's on this, which was written by Warren Haynes. No One to Run With is on this album, which is a great song. Yeah, this is a pretty good album. Where It All Begins. Enlightened Rogues, here's another one. Good album too. Crazy Love's on this, and Can't Take It With You When You Go. They're probably the two best songs. It Just Ain't Easy is a beautiful song, Greg Allman song. Eventually, this is still Dickie Betts and Warren Haynes on here. Alan Woody's on this album too. Alan Woody and Warren Haynes would leave to form Government Mule. Alan Woody died tragically as well at a young age. He was a great bass player as well. This was not a bad album either. There's some good stuff on here. Seven Turns is on here, which is great. That's probably the best song on the album, Seven Turns. This is a fantastic album. This is when Warren Haynes and Derek Trucks became the dual guitar members, which is where the band stayed with those two guys for the next many years, and that's what toured through the 2000s and whatever. I think the last Allman Brothers show was around 2014 maybe, or something like that. So this is a great album. It's called Hitting the Note. It's got some great songs on it. Highly recommend this one. One of my favorite Allman Brothers albums. I think they really came alive when Derek Trucks joined them. Highly recommend that album. Great rockin' album. What else have I got here? I got some other on vinyl. This is another album that's kind of more obscure, not one of their best-selling albums, Reach for the Sky. Here's an album that came out posthumously after years later. It's an album that Greg and Dwayne recorded together. It's they had a band called the Allman Joys, and they did some great covers. They did Morning Dew, Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out. They do the first version of Melissa on here. Pretty cool album, actually. Now, the best thing about the Allman Brothers is seeing the Allman Brothers live. Their live recordings are fantastic. Well, I want to show one more thing before I get into the live stuff. There was a box set anthology that came out, 4 CD set. This is available on vinyl too. I have the CD version. It is a career retrospective, a lot of early stuff. It's amazing set. Sounds great. Here are the discs. Now I want to show you something. I bought this off a guy who worked in a stereo shop in downtown Toronto called Bay Blue Audio. He's working in the store one day. Who comes walking in? But Derek Trucks. He serves them. And then Derek was really impressed with the store. He was on tour with Eric Clapton at that time. He said he was going to come back with Eric Clapton. So the guy I met who worked in the store, he brought this set in, waiting for those guys to show up, and sure enough, they came in, and he got Derek Trucks to sign the Allman Brothers box, which is pretty cool. But you know the irony of that? Derek Trucks is probably the only Allman Brothers member who's not, his music doesn't appear on this set. He signed the set, but he's not on one song. Here are the 4 discs. They all look the same. They're a beautiful set. Great vinyl set too, if you can find it. Okay, live. Allman Brothers live. Man, live at the Fillmore, obviously, the best one. But there's so much other stuff out there. It's incredible. They're all so good. Here's the Allman Brothers, Stony Brook, New York, 1971, with Dwayne. Macon City Auditorium, Macon, Georgia, 2/11/72. This one just came out recently. It's one of Bear's Sonic Journals. You know, we know Owsley, the Acid guy, was a big sound guy. He recorded a lot of bands, and he's put out some stuff. This is one of the releases. Allman Brothers, Fillmore East, February 1970. Fantastic. Here's set 1 and set 2. First set, An Evening with the Allman Brothers. Friggin' awesome set 2. This is with Dickie Betts and Warren Haynes. And there's the other volume they released too. This one was called Second Set. Allman Brothers, live at the Beacon. They played the Beacon Theater in New York. Like that was like a second home to them. They did like, I don't know how many nights in a row. They would do like 2 weeks, nights in a row. It's incredible stuff. Live at the Beacon 72, Play All Night. This is Warren Hayes and Derek Trucks on this. Great album, double CD. Oh, the Fox Box. 9/24/04, 9/26, or 9/25/04, 9/26/04. 3 nights at the Fox Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. This is an amazing set. It's got 3, 6, 8 discs, I believe. All performances from the 3 nights. Great set. And this is fairly reasonably priced on Amazon. The Fox Box. Highly recommend the Fox Box. Allman Brothers, Cream of the Crop, 2003. It's live performances from. This was released after Greg died. They actually put it out and then dedicated to our brother Gregory Lenore album, released in 1918, even though it was recorded in 2003. Again, beautiful thing. This is a 4-disc set, Cream of the Crop. Trying to see where it was from. There were some special guests on these shows, Branford Marsalis and Susan Tedeschi. Another great performance from the brothers. This is a great CD. I like this as much as I like Fillmore East. Their playing on this is really inspiring. Allman Brothers Atlantic Pop Festival, International Pop Festival, July 1970. Two-disc set. Fantastic playing on this. Really, really good. Allman Brothers, Austin City Limits, when they performed on Austin City Limits in 1995. Great show. My buddy has this taped off of PBS or something, and it's really good. Really good. And finally, Allman Brothers live from A&R Studios, New York, August 26, 1971. So, yeah, I'm a big Allman Brothers fan. What can I say? Great band. Dwayne Ullman, I consider the greatest guitar player of all time. Sorry, Jimmy fans. I think Jimmy's number 2, but I just think the only reason I picked Dwayne over Jimmy is because I think his resume gives him, I don't know, it's a bit wider range of music. I mean, he did session work with Aretha Franklin and Wilson Pickett and King Curtis, played at Muscle Shoals on sessions. The music went from jazz to country to rock to blues, and Jimmy was basically blues based, although, you know, Jimmy is a guitar. I mean, it's not, anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that. Everybody take care.